What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video from yours truly, Clover Trading. We got Huddy here, Kyle here, and I am Dom. We are just getting ready to wrap up another week in the small cap markets. Just one more week left in April to put a bow on it, to put a tie on it, whatever you want to put on it, put on it. But we're here to tell you a little bit about our week, what we saw in the market, and keep you updated with what is going on in small cap land and around the stock market as a whole. So I welcome in Huddy, welcome in Kyle. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. You leave a comment as well. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel because we're posting videos all week long. Now we're live every day the market is open. And you're going to want to make sure you stay tuned for all that.
Beautiful. Yeah, I mean, real quick. Overall markets, if we want to start, I know we started last episode like that. More tariff news, nothing special. I think the markets are kind of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, though, because there's been some, I don't know how legit they are, but there's been headlines about China and the U.S. making a deal, and that tariffs will be much, much lower. They won't be zero, but they will be obviously much lower than three digits, obviously, which is much, much better. In terms of the week for me, a whole lot hasn't really happened until today. My biggest winner of the week so far has been Gels. A little gap McCrap made 9K, and but again, I'm taking smaller losses here and there everywhere else, so really wasn't up a lot starting the week, and even now I'm not even up. I'm just saying that it was kind of chopping myself up back and forth. And I actually was talking about this on Wine and Wednesday last night. It was a good episode. Just said the last 2 weeks have been pretty dull. Today though has been special, not special, but exciting and or eventful packed because of CEP. And obviously you can see I've taken some trades on it. Unfortunately, I am red on it right now, but I am currently actually short for another pullback. But besides the point, they are they're trying to become the next MSTR. And so for those who know what MSTR is run by Michael Saylor. He pretty much just buys Bitcoin for the balance sheet of said company. He then will use debt and dilution in a very methodical way to then be able to acquire more Bitcoin and hence increasing the value of the stock theoretically. And, as Bitcoin goes up, this also almost becomes like a leveraged Bitcoin play. And so CEP here is a SPAC. They're working on de-SPACing from the ticker CEP to, if it goes through, it'll be XXI because the company's name is 21. So a little Greek new numbers there, 21. And so they're just going to buy their whole business model is like, yeah, we're just going to, pretty much do what MSTR does and buy Bitcoin. And because it's the SPAC and already trading, it's kind of started its run and started its hype before the actual company has formed per se. And, I would say it's a mix of obviously Bitcoin's hot, but also a mix of just shorts getting absolutely squeezed, right? I would say, and the only reason why I think that is because people don't really know how to value a SPAC until it's live, right? Until you really see the company's balance sheet and what they've actually got going on and the true share structure. It's kind of a guessing game. And so I'm not going to sit here and say this can't be worth more, but I'm also not going to just blindly buy thinking, oh, it's going to be worth hundreds like MSTR. Like, I have no idea. I'm just going to trade price action for the time being. And so that's what I've done. Now, I'm not too happy about how I've handled this parabolic, but it was the biggest runner that we've seen pretty much all week in all the last 2 weeks. So something I'm going to keep watching an eye on. But that's really it, Nothing else special for me this week. Again, second week in a row now, just kind of watching paint dry and most everything else. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling and what I'm seeing.
Nice. Yeah. Kind of feels like the market has found a little bit of a bid. I see a lot of good structure consolidation charts. Not that I'm necessarily going to touch them for any reason. It's not really my world, but just feels nice that we're not coming to the market and the market's down 2 or 3% every day. Maybe it was never down 3%, but it felt like for a while there we were just on this massive downtrend, and we've seemed to find some stability this week. Bitcoin's back up at 93K from a low of 75 just a couple weeks ago, which is that's a big percent gain in a couple of weeks. So congrats to dip buyers there. Again, no real material effect on me and my trading. It's not something I really trade. The thing that's kind of been the apple of my eye this week has been HTZ, Hertz Global Holding. Just what's going on in small cap this week. We did have a billionaire activist come in and invest in Hertz. And the reason I like Hertz is for two reasons, or the reason I'm watching it the reason I think that there's potential here for some trades. this billionaire activist has come in before and invested in other stocks this year that has created some type of staying power for longer than, a day or two. So if history repeats or rhymes in any kind of way, this has potential. And then the second thing it has going for it is I've traded Hertz many times in my career. It is a former runner. If you're going back to like 2020, 2019, or 2021, somewhere in there when it was going through its bankruptcy proceedings, um, it was a massive runner that I did quite well on. So it's cool to see it come back. It's cool to see it trading volume. It's cool to see, a billionaire investor getting involved. As far as fundamental view goes, I could care less. I'm just here to trade the technicals, and I hope it goes as high as possible so it can create some good range for longs and for shorts. It's just good to know that this one exists out here in this market. So I'll just be continually watching this, kind of like how Kyle's watching CEP, and that's his stock for the week that he's noticed. I've kind of noticed Hertz and grown a liking to it. So that's cool. That's cool that it exists. It's cool that we have some runners.
Nice. Yeah, when I mentioned earlier about some of the losses I've taken, I did take a small loss on Hertz, tried to buy the breakout, and obviously still in trend. But if you're in the room, you know how picky I am on breakouts, and they either got to work right away or I don't like them. So I did take a small loss on whenever it was, Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? No, Tuesday. It was Tuesday. But anyways, Dom, how we feeling? What are we watching?
Yeah, not a ton to add. Last week was pretty blah week. I know we missed this video last week, but it would have been a super boring video from my perspective. Because there really wasn't a whole lot of big plays happening. I feel kind of the same way this week. We had Bull, which did finally have its reversal on is that Tuesday as well?
Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, I butchered the trade and kind of had loftier expectations for it, but definitely a world where anyone else who was trading it could have done quite well on it. Finally set up on a good 5-minute high break with some decent continuation there from, I don't even remember the price is what, like 25 to 33, something like that. But very predictable move there. I'm also watching closely HTZ as well. Everything that Huddy said there, kind of love the criteria of the catalyst, love the volume that it's been churning for the past few days, love the precedent from other stocks with the same type of news. But we'll be watching that one into the end of the week, into next week as well. But it continues to be sit back and be patient. That is kind of the mindset all year so far, as the overall market is all over the place. I don't look at what's happening this week and go, we've definitely bottomed. We're definitely going to go break the highs. I'm not smart enough to know any of that information. So I just try to take it one day at a time, continue to make my watch list every single night, make sure that I'm watching real chart patterns, and do my best to trade them and execute in the proper and most efficient way. But so that's kind of my take on this week. Is it's been kind of another week where we've had some levels of opportunity, but maybe not working out in the best way. But I'll continue to chug along, continue to try to be patient, end my day as early as possible, have my stops in, and just be patient when I'm supposed to be patient, and take the money when I think it should be more of a quick hit. But not too much has changed right now. We'll see what the future holds with the overall market and the plays in small cap land. But the number one thing for me right now is just stay consistent in my process, and the result should be somewhat consistent as well.
Nice. I like it. Yeah, that's been a trend. Not to beat it a horse, but that's a trend we've talked about on Wednesday last night as well, which is like leaving by roughly around this time midday has been a pretty good recipe for not overstaying, not overtrading, not just taking trades you shouldn't be taking. One other ticker that I just really want to mention going forward, again, we're watching this week, and what I'm hoping turns out, but again, it's a lot of hoping and then being disappointed, but that's just trading. FFAI. Nice little cute day up about 20-25%ish. Again, former runner, very similar to what Hadi was mentioning about HGZ. It's just when you traded for years, you take a liking to tickers you've seen. And obviously this one, if you were around last year, was a massive one. This was formerly FFIE.
Oh my gosh. I was sitting here like, what are we doing? What are we talking about?
Like, what ticker is this?
It's up 25%, and you're like, we got to check in on this one.
We got to
watch
that's
this FFIE.
Yeah. they changed their ticker. I don't know when they changed it somewhere in here. So very recently, a month or two ago. And I only mention it just because it's like when you look at any one of these small green days, sometimes, actually more times than not, I would argue, it's led to, some kind of multi-day move. Now, again, that's not mean I'm going to buy it, but I do want to keep an eye on it. That way, maybe next week recap, going into Friday episode, where you talk about how this went from who knows to when, and then I shorted it, right? I took a pretty good advantage on this move back in late December, early January of the new year. And so we'll see. No expectations, but you got to just keep what we call in the room a third eye watch on a lot of tickers, and that's something going forward as well. So anyways, short little video today, but again, not a ton going on. But again, hopefully the market continues to stay hot. Hopefully CEP maybe brings in some momentum back into small cap or just the momentous space. Put maybe in the comments what tickers you were watching, what trades you took that you liked, didn't like, how you're feeling. Do you agree with what we're saying? Do you disagree with what you're saying? I know if you trade the overall markets, you're probably having a great time. A lot of volatility every single day. Without further ado, though, if not any final words from Dom or Huie, we will close it out and we'll see you guys next week.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Beautiful. All right. Peace out, everybody. Make sure to like, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next time. Bye.